So this one might be a short one. I don't know. I don't have too many notes, but I like to talk, so I probably might end up extending it. But yeah, this is the Gifted Spoilercast, and we're talking about episode 8, Threat of Extinction. With a big X. And so this episode was fairly interesting. So in this episode, we get Reed going to go see his father to see what he knows. He ends up finding out that he has something to do with, the whole project that Dr. Campbell is doing. And so what it is that he was a part of that project long before. And so he had to, he's not a part of it no more because it's shut down, but he didn't know that they brought it back, to life. And this is a very interesting episode. Very, 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 very interesting episode. This is the episode, I want to say, it's one of the best episodes because it had a lot of insight of the background of the main characters. And this literally just went a totally opposite way of what I didn't see coming. If you want to say twist, this is a crazy twist to it, because who would have known that Reed, a guy who's a part of a company, who was formerly a part of a company that hunted mutants, that basically took them in and all this stuff, ends up finding out that he is a mutant himself. But he was just given a serum that basically either I don't want to say got rid of it, maybe, or just suppressed it to where it doesn't come out. And that's crazy. That's like, I didn't see that coming. I'm just like, I think I had like a hint of it where I'm just like, damn, maybe that'd be crazy if he was this and that, and then it's like he ended up being a mutant. So I'm like, this is actually a pretty damn good show. And but then not even just that, but since he is a mutant, he found out that his father was a mutant. His mother didn't know. But he finds out that his father is a mutant, that he suppressed his power and all this stuff so people won't know and all that good stuff. And so this is like the plot thickens, and then he understands how his kids are human. I mean, not humans, but they are human, but how his kids are mutants, how they obtain their powers. Now the thing about it is that I know I said it before, that continuity does not exist when it comes to the X-Men franchise. It really doesn't. Whether it's the movies or the shows, it really does not exist anymore. They're just doing whatever the hell that they want to do. So I guess at this point, we just gotta accept it. But to my knowledge from the movies, I could be wrong, because it's been a minute since I've seen the movies. Well, the X-Men movies. But I thought it was that the X-Men, the X gene is in everyone. It's just not, it doesn't come out with everyone. A lot of people, it may end up being activated and coming out, but from what I hear, it's a part of everyone. It's inside of every single person. So in a sense, everyone is a mutant. It's just certain people have it come out. So with this revelation, it's like, I don't know, like it's kind of, it's a twist, but it's kind of not. So I'm just going on the assumption that, not everyone has the mutant gene in them, that certain people do. So, it is what it is. And so he's talked about his, I believe it was his father, Reed's great grandfather and his wife, and how they were mutants and that they had the exact same powers as Reed's children, Lauren and Andy. And so basically you just putting it like his father was just telling him that, they were bad people. They were essentially bad people, but put together they were worse. And so he basically warned them to don't let them hold hands, because together they could cause danger. And so this was like a revelation, like what the hell. And so they had this story that was set up in the beginning of the episode where Reed was talking about how he really didn't want to see his father, but he had to do it so that he can help his kids. And the reason why he didn't want to see it was because of the whole fact that while he was, his father was always busy, always working, and he really didn't see him like that. And one time that he was sick, his father didn't even come to the hospital to help him. And so, well, not help him, but he wasn't even there for support while he was in the hospital. While he almost died, he wasn't there. And so he just had this anger toward him or whatever that all that time. And so basically cut him off. And so he finds out that the reason why he was sick was because of the medicine or the stuff that he gave him to suppress the mutant gene, hoping that it will carry on through his genes, so where he had kids and all that stuff, and it won't get passed on, and that will be the end of it. And so that was another revelation. Like, yo, they said, now I see what they did. They set that up just so they could have that reveal, and that was actually done pretty good. I like that. When it comes down to it, yeah, this just having that in this episode made it such a great episode. And just thinking about it, it's like, man, this is, and the thing I hate about it is that they have it where it was like, oh, well, this happened, this great revelation of all this stuff that happened, but we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Like, what? Why? Well, I mean, I guess it's not one of them things where it's like, oh, we'll see you guys next year. This is the first half and all that stuff. But I want to say that they're probably going to have 2 more episodes before they cut it in half. And then have the second part come on like in February or stuff like that. Which I don't have no problem with it. It's whatever. But, yeah, this is actually pretty deep. Pretty deep. And then you get to the, I know I'm jumping, like, there's some other stuff that happened up in the episode. I'm going to get to that. But you have the kids at the end basically holding hands. One thing that he told them not to do, what he told Reed, make sure that they don't do, is hold hands, because that will spell doom for, just everyone, or, just people in general, whatever. I'm not going to say like anyone that's around them, but, that is just a bad thing, something that Reed needs to stay away from. So I'm like, yo, this is kind of deep. This is kind of deep. But during this was very, on top of that, it was very emotional. Very, very emotional. So we have, basically, I'm looking at my notes right now. But we have, like, Reed's father, he sacrificed his life so that Reed can basically survive. Because while Johnny and Reed is over there talking to his father, of course, the signal services, or what's the program that Dr. Campbell is a part of, that his father was a part of. I forgot the name. I didn't even write it down. But basically, they end up coming to his father's shop, saying that, like, we came here before, but we have to make sure that we cover all bases. So basically, just covering their tracks. Just making sure that he didn't come there after. And so his father ends up sacrificing his life to make sure that Reed gets away, and just everything that Reed gets away. There's no other way nothing else I can say about that. And so the one thing that kind of stood out to me in this episode was when Reed's father does what he does as a mutant, makes the explosion, sacrificing himself, and then all the signal services, their group just kind of like, some of them die, and then the rest of them run off. Why did you guys run off? I mean, I get it. I mean, it's an explosion. Certain people are hurt, injured. Certain people die. So, you gotta get, you gotta lick your wounds and run, or, go away. But it's like, wouldn't you try to send backup? Don't you have backup to come in or something of that nature? And just just in case something goes down, ain't you gonna try and, I mean, because obviously he did that for a reason. So that would have me thinking like, yo, he did that. He was protecting his son, or he was hiding something. So let's go back to the thing or whatever. I would think that like Agent Turner would have stayed there, and basically, covered, went back and did what they, did, cover the whole thing. But in any case, none of that happened. They ended up licking their wounds and running. And so it was very emotional, very, very emotional. With that, you have, another death in that was Post. Post, who they were trying to find out what was wrong with him, and try and figure out like how they can change him back and stuff. And so he ended up dying because he was part of the group and all that stuff. And that was the one reason why Johnny can use his power. But at the same time, Reed's father was saying how special his family was, how special they were. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't just because they were mutants, because in this universe there's a lot of mutants, so they can't just be special just because they're mutants. But in a sense of, I guess, just the power that they hold, because when you look at it, Post, his power is to take away powers of other mutants, to where if he turns on his power, they can't use their power. And so he turned on his power, but yet Reed's father was able to access his power and use it. So that just shows me that either Post's power doesn't really affect them like that, and they are special because of that, or they're special because they're really powerful mutants, that they can overcome that and end up using their power still. So that's one thing that kind of like hits me. But in any case, so Post dies, and that was kind of like, you got two deaths in one. And like I said, it was a very emotional film. It's a very emotional episode when it came to that. What else am I missing? Okay, and so Marcos, Johnny, and Clarice, I believe I'm saying her name right, Clarice. They have a run-in with the mutant who's working for Dr. Campbell. And basically, this mutant is like a fast mutant and whatever, fast and all that stuff. And so they're trying to figure out, like I said, this is one way where they figure out what is happening, what Dr. Campbell is doing to these mutants, and what, they can do to help Post. And so, basically they are, this is another person or another mutant that dies in the episode. So this was very, 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 very impactful episode, because you had 3 deaths. One of them was, it was still kind of emotional. You don't know the girl, but you know that she was in pain, that what she was put through, because they recognized that she was kind of like that she was acting like a drug addict. And, it was like, damn, like shit, you knew she was in pain. She couldn't speak. They were trying to get stuff out of her, and they couldn't, and they know that there is something behind what Dr. Campbell is doing to them, that he doesn't care about them. He doesn't see them as people. He just see them as weapons. And that's basically what he's using them for. So there's getting closer and closer to figuring out what Dr. Campbell is using these mutants for. And it's basically, the tension is rising. It's getting deeper. It's very much getting deeper. And it's crazy. And I think that's really about it that I have to say about this episode. It was a lot that happened, but it was kind of like not too much. So when it comes down to it, this was one of the best episodes. Very emotional. Very, very emotional. You had 3 deaths up in there. And yeah, this is actually a deep episode. I can't wait to see what else they have to offer. And I'm curious to see how how this whole season ends off. That's what I'm like really focused on. But other than that, yeah, I really enjoyed this episode, so I can't wait till next week till it starts back up. And speaking of that, I know this is late. But you know, I have jobs. You know, I gotta take care of responsibility first. But yeah, so I'm finally putting this out, and hopefully I can stay on track with week by week of The Walking Dead as well as this. So you guys stay tuned to the next one. And thank you guys for listening. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on your notification. That way you'll be notified for anything that drops on my channel. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.